it's winter, and what does that mean for us bikers? Well, it means you've got to be a bit more careful when out riding because it's slippery, but it also means these guys are out and they are spreading salt and grip all over our roads. Now that's great for grip in the ice and snow, but it's not great for our bikes. The salt and the grit gets into the spaces around the engine and exhaust and all the components, and it really rots away our bikes from the inside. Now in this video I'm going to be sharing with you how I look after my bike in the winter. It's fairly straightforward. I'm going to be using a mixture of the trusted 2-bucket method and a jet washer. I know there's going to be a lot of negative comments probably on the use of a jet washer. However, I believe if you keep the pressure of the jet away from sensitive components like electronics, bearings, that kind of stuff, you should have no issues. I've had this bike for 4 years. I've always used this jet washer to clean it and I've never had any problems. So to do this method, you're going to need yourself a couple of buckets, one to wash and one to rinse. I'm also going to be using the jet washer to apply a bit of snow foam and get into some of those areas that are a bit harder to reach with a brush. I'm also going to be using a decent mitt for cleaning overall around the bike, some rags, and a new set of brushes that I've got from Oxford that will make it a little bit easier to get into some of the more trickier areas to get to. I've also got a heap of different kind of products for the bike, lotions and bits. So as you can see, the bike is absolutely caked and real filthy. It's a good test case for cleaning the bike. And ideally what I found is you want to get the bike up on a paddock stand if you've got one. It's not essential, but it does make life a little bit easier. And the first thing I'm going to do is just get the bike wet all over and start hopefully loosening up some of this dirt. So in the left hand wash bucket I've got muck off motorcycle cleaner along with some cold water, and in the right hand bucket, the rinse bucket, I've just got plain old cold water. So the first thing I actually like to do is clean the chain. Almost forgot about that, and it's a good thing to do first as it's really mucky, and if you do it at the end you end up getting chain muck all over the rest of the clean bike. And to clean the chain I use a motorcycle chain cleaner. This one's from WD-40, but Muck Off and a load of other companies do them. I also use this chain cleaning brush, which is ideal for getting around the chain and giving the chain a good clean. So the bike is wet, the chain is reasonably clean. The next phase is to completely snow foam the bike and let that sit for a few minutes while it kind of agitates all the dirt and gets it nice and clean. So for the snow foam, I just use this snow foam wand that comes with the Karcher pressure washer, and I just use the cheapest snow foam I can find. Get a deal, you get through a lot of it. My favourite part of the bike wash, snow foam. So the controversial part of the video, I will be using a jet wash to rinse the bike off. Now use your common sense, don't jam it into the head bearings, don't jam it into your electronics, and particularly under here as well. You don't want to be sticking in high pressure water in anywhere that's going to get damaged. Just be careful with it and you should be fine. I'm also lucky enough that my jet washer has 3 settings, soft, medium, hard, so I put it onto the soft setting. So now you want to give the bike a good rinse off, making sure you get rid of all the contaminants that are going to be sat in the snow foam. So this is where shit gets real and you've got to put in a bit of elbow grease. So quick tip, make sure you keep these off the ground. Ideally just stick them in your wash bucket. Each time you use your rag and it starts getting a bit dirty, or your brush, dip it in the rinse bucket to rinse off all of the grit and contaminants and all that stuff. You don't want to be spreading it around the bike. Now I always start at the front of the bike and work section by section, starting at the front, I'm working my way to the back of the bike. The final part of the process is to clean the wheels, dry the bike, and then lube the chain. So now to give the bike a good dry off, I use a massive microfiber towel. I believe it's from Oxford. One thing you could probably add to this is if you have a leaf blower or air compressor, you can actually dry it with some high pressure air. However, I've just got this. So at this stage, if you've got a gloss finish bike, you can use some kind of polish to bring up the shine of the bike. I've got like a matte sort of satin finish to my bike, so I'm going to use this matte finish detailer just to go over the paintwork and make it come up real nice. And the final thing I do is take it off the paddock stand, get it started up and get some revs through the exhaust to blast out any of the water that's got inside there. So I hope you enjoyed the video and maybe found that informative or useful in some way. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. And if you've got any questions, please drop a comment in the box below. By all means, this was just a general winter clean. There'll probably be some areas that I need to go over again. The next video I'm going to do on this, I'm going to give the bike a full ACF 50 treatment. I would have done it today, however it's best to wait for the bike to be completely dry before doing that. So thanks for watching and I'll see you on the next one.